Hello everybody, I'm Scotty. Welcome back to Scotty's Clock World. Before we can put our cuckoo clock back together again, there's a bit more work we've got to do on some of the parts. The lift levers are a little bit rusty. We'll also clean up the chain. But first off, we'll start with these levers here. You'll notice a vice grip I've got here on the bench, along with my Dremel that I'll be using. I find that when you're holding it in your hands and running the Dremel, the wheel on the Dremel can catch in your gloves and tear holes in it. So you got to keep replacing your gloves. So what I do now, I use this set of vice grips, clamp the piece that I'm working on, hold it tight. Got him. Turn on the Dremel. Let it run for a second to warm it up before we start. While that's happening, I have a look to see where I need to remove rust from. Pretty much all over it, it's only relatively light. Right. Turn the Dremel up now. So this is how I do it. Just run the Dremel long ways up. Along the rods, I find you've got to be careful doing it this way, because it might it used to throw it around the room before. That's why I use the lockjaw pliers on it now. Little bit down there. You can see that's looking a lot better already down that end there. So continue running up down there. Turn the pliers round so I can get at the other end more easily. Turn the piece at right angles. It won't take long to do, it's pretty small. Above and below. Undo the pliers. Reverse the lever, and now we'll do the other end. Certainly a very efficient way of removing rust from these levers. Right, that's this one. Not quite tight enough yet. Clamp that in a little bit tighter to hold it in place. Right, now we're on. Back on the Dremel again. Running it up and down the length. And put my finger on it as we move up a bit. Makes it a little bit more secure. Doesn't flex quite as much. Also keeps the tool in the Dremel away from the gloves and doesn't catch them. Whoop, I'm going to went round a bit. I'm only using the Dremel on about half speed. If I put it on full speed it'll be too much, I'm quite sure. you start bending bits of wire. Okay, we'll see how that looks. Yeah, that looks right. Put that aside. Now, this piece here that sits in the bellows, I'll clamp it there. The nails come out, and you'll start cleaning it. It's also got a bend in it that I assume will have to be straightened before I put it back into the cloth. Alright, I'll reverse that. I'll have to be very careful now because we don't want to bend this piece here out of shape. Very slowly run along each face. Turn it round. Put it underneath. Turn it over so we can see what's over here. We'll be scrubbing it down with steel wool, that's for sure. A little bit there. And there we go, a little bit there underneath. Right, I'll take that off. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. Very efficient method of removing rust on these parts. Okay, that's looking alright. Now we'll do the chain. Different method of doing the chain. No, we won't. We'll do the base of the bird first. Our little bird's got a little bit of rust on it. So I'll turn the Dremel down to its lowest speed. We don't want to make a mess of this. Hold it with my fingers and very slowly run over it and remove the rust. Down the edges. Now, hold the clean piece. We'll run up here very gently and slowly so we don't cut chunks out of the bird. Right, turn it over. Do the same on the other side. Very efficient method of removing rust. You can see how nicely that's come up. Reverse it round. I'll do the other end now. Hold that little bird out of the road. We've got a little burn now. Looking nice and clean. Right, turn the Dremel off. This is a different method of cleaning up chain with rust on it. I've shot a video using CLR. This is a method that a friend of mine, Mark, uses. So I'm going to try it out and see how it works on this chain. I've taken all the kinks out of the chain. It's nice and straight now. This is a piece of scarab pad, and what I'm going to do, holding it relatively tightly, is just pull the chain through the scarab pad slowly. We'll do that 2 or 3 times and we'll see how much cleaner it is once we've done that. Right, chain back up on the desk again. Grab the end and pull it through. This method should have, or will have, an advantage over using steel wool, because by the time you're finished there'll be no little fibres of steel wool caught in the chain that you'll have to go along and brush to get out. Alright, once more we'll do that. Getting a fair bit of rust off, as you can see it on my gloves and the lines in the scarab pad there. Yeah, that's looking a lot better actually. Alright, third time. See how we go. Pull the chain through slowly, holding the scarab pad pretty tightly. And in a minute we will see what we've accomplished. Okay, what do we got? Now there's the chain there. Yep, that's done not too bad a job actually. Way cleaner than before I started. They cleaned it on the scarab pad. Yep, that's not looking too bad. Thanks Mark for that advice. It's worked out pretty well, man. I've added the link at the end of this video to a friend of mine's YouTube channel. He has hundreds of cuckoo clock videos that I recommend you have a look at, and then subscribe to his channel for future regular updates. If you want to learn how to service, repair and restore 19th and 20th century mechanical clocks, then subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell.